Hey guys, welcome back to the Baseline and Beyond course for tennis fundamentals. Welcome to section 3. On this section we're going to learn a little bit about the serve. Now, why do I say a little bit? Because most coaches will agree with me that the serve is the most important shot in tennis, but is also the most difficult to learn. All right, so on this course we're gonna make it as simple as possible, and then in more advanced courses we'll start adding things on it. But the good news is that with what you're gonna learn on this course, you're still gonna be able to do some match play, maybe even try some tournaments and leagues. I mean, this will take you a long way, okay? But we are gonna make it simple. In this first lesson we are going to learn how to hold the racket, so the grip, how to stand on the court, and how to keep that serve fluid and just easy peasy, okay? So with that being said, I'll see you on the court. Let's go to practice. All right, so before we start hitting the ball, we're gonna make sure that we come to our grip. For the serve, we're gonna use our continental grip. So we've gone over this before, but I'll show you again. Very easy way, very simple way to get into a continental grip. It's by holding the racket with your non-dominant hand, making sure that you have a check mark with your dominant hand, and then just slide it, and making sure that you have a little bit of an angle here, not like a fist, but an angle on your fingers, and then just wrapping your fingers around the grip, okay? How can you check and feel if the racket is properly on continental grip? Well, you're just gonna extend your arm, and if you see that the frame is aligned and making a straight line with your forearm, with the bone of your forearm, you should be fine. This is a proper continental grip that is going to allow you to get started with the serves. Now, if it's not, you're going to be able to see it, because if it starts sliding towards an eastern grip or closer to like your forehand grip, you're definitely going to see that the alignment is different, okay? So once again, just hold your racket, slide that hand, hold it in an angle, making sure that your fingers have that angle. You got the trigger finger there, and that your arm aligns with the racket perfectly, and that's how you get to that continental grip. All right, the next thing that we're gonna talk about is gonna be the stance. How do you set up your feet and how do you set up your body to the serve? Okay, so we're obviously gonna be serving from the baseline, so you want to be all the way back on the court. But as you practice how to set up your body, you can do this pretty much anywhere, okay? But if you are on the court, let's start with the baseline. All right, you're gonna go ideally from the little mark that you see here in the center of the baseline. All courts usually have this. You're gonna go maybe a racket length away from it, either to the right or to the left. In my case, I'm gonna go to the left here, about a racket length away, and I want to have my front foot, my non-dominant foot, pointing towards the post of the net. Okay, so that post right there, I'm not touching the line. That's very important. It's part of the tennis rules. You cannot touch the baseline, okay? And then on the back foot, my dominant foot, I'm gonna put my the arch of my foot next to my heel, and then I'm gonna take a step back, making it parallel to the baseline somewhat, okay? Now, we don't want to go too big and we don't want to stay too narrow. You want to be maybe shoulder width apart with this stance, and you got to feel balanced and comfortable. You don't want to, you know, kind of like feeling like you're falling down to one side or the other, or like the one leg has more of your body weight. You should be able to like feel both legs, kind of like your weight distributed up between the two of your legs, two of your feet. Once you have that, you have your continental grip, you have the stance, and now we're going to talk about where should you be aiming, right? So since I chose this side, the left side of the center box, I should be aiming to the service box across of me on the right side of the court. Now, what happens if I move to the other side? Then you do the exact same setup. Don't try to align to that post, but go here, set up your alignment foot there, and you should be fine, okay? This part here where you're trying to set up your feet with like the distance between each other, it's very important that you don't, you know, set up this way, because all of a sudden now our hips and shoulders are open towards that side. We want to keep this set up right here, because that's going to allow you to set up your hips and your shoulders, kind of like align them diagonally to that net post, okay? It is going to help you later with the rotation of your body and direction of the ball. So remember, we don't set up squaring up to the net. We set up always aiming our body or foot to that post, okay? And if you are left-handed, well, you just do it the opposite way, all right? So that's basically your setup. Now let's move on to holding the ball and tossing it, okay?